So in the small little silo that I live in, here recently, there's been a lot of comments and a lot of people reading some of my Facebook posts. I was even told by a fella that I need to get a life, and they wish they had so much time to talk about the city budget, which was funny. The guy that said it, he's a good guy. He just disagrees with the way I approach things. But anyhow, trust me, there's so much of me that does actually try to make a conscious effort to get away from a lot of this. It's not enjoyable. I don't get a kick out of it. However, I know some people aren't going to believe this, but I honestly do just care. And it bothers me when I see manipulation. Again, I served in local government. I know how it goes. There can be a lot of manipulation, and depending on how you word things, you can make just about anything sound the way you want. That's why I try to be very limited on opinion. And when I do present stuff, I just say, here's the data, here's the facts, here's what's being said, but here's the numbers. And I try to do that to the best of my ability. And up to this point, on pretty much everything I've put out, nobody's been able to rebut it with actual numbers and data. It's usually just emotional responses, because I do get under people's skin a lot of times. And I understand that. Truth can be abrasive. I'll just put it that way. And so anyways, I know some people think might be arrogant or whatever, but truly I'm just trying to get the information out there. Anyways, so I've taken a couple minutes to say all that. On Senate Bill 1, dealing with property taxes, I know the mayor recently put something out begging people to support him in pressuring the state to not limit these property taxes and not put a limit on local government budgets. Because if it does pass, it will limit local government budgets. And here's how that will impact New Castle. If you want my opinion, I do believe that we need to put limits on things and we do need to lower taxes. That's my opinion. But beyond my opinion, here's how this bill will impact the city of New Castle in a negative way. So recently, in 2024, City Council passed raises for, I think, all employees, but the vast majority, or the highest percentage of raises, went to our police department, fire department, and our EMS. So over the course of 3 years, that will accumulate to approximately almost 40% pay increase by 2028. And that is a almost 40% pay increase of what they received in 2024. So it steps up year by year. So for the city to be able to honor for the city to be able to honor those pay raises, the city must be able to increase its budget. Because if the city budget is capped, then somehow, some way, you either come up with the money or you lay people off. So we're seeing that take place in the EMS department. The raises were given last year. The EMS department is a self-funded department, and somehow, some way, I don't know the day-to-days. All we know is that the budget was passed, their raises were approved, and now they're cutting, I think, last I heard was 6 employees from the EMS department because the funds aren't there. Now you get into the police and fire department. The police and fire department are not self-funded. They are taxpayer funded. That's where this SB1 will impact. So if the already struggling city budget is capped, then there's we'll just say some very significant challenges ahead for the city of New Castle. In 2024, they didn't have the money to meet payroll, so they borrowed money. And by the time, I think within 3 months of 2024, $4.3 million was borrowed so that they can make ends meet. In 2025, so we're here at the beginning, again, 3 months in to 2025, we're not borrowing money, but we're laying off employees in the next few months. So again, if the local government cannot increase its budget, but it is forced to stay within the budget that it has, or can only minimally increase it, New Castle will have to somehow make some very tough decisions. And that's just what it boils down to. That's not my opinion. That's not pointing fingers. That's just the facts. That's where we're at. That's why Mayor York put out his statement that he is against Senate Bill 1 because it will limit the local government's ability to increase its budget. So that's just the way it is. Anyhow, we've got a lot of challenges ahead. I will do my best to continue to keep you informed. Sometimes I contemplate just deleting everything and just shutting up and living my life. But I keep being drawn back, and I know there's a lot of you that do appreciate the information, and so that's why I continue to do it. If I am wrong on something, please let me know. Reach out to me. I have corrected incorrect statements. I have admitted when I've been wrong. I welcome rebuttals. Like, I want to be wrong. Please prove me wrong. I want to believe that things are better than what they seem to be. Anyways, I'll shut up. Again, if I'm wrong, prove me wrong. Let me know. I so humbly ask you, please let me know where I'm wrong or when I am wrong, and I will correct it. And God bless you. That's all I can say. Hey, so I hope maybe this clears some things up. I don't know. Maybe you have some more questions. Sorry for taking so long. But again, that's kind of one of the issues with this SB1. Some form of it probably will pass the state. That probably will happen. Which does mean in these next couple years, New Castle has some extreme challenges ahead.